A very, very warm welcome to the Sishiko Stadium. It is the HOLLYWOODBETS COSAFA Women's Championship 2025, the 13th edition, coming to you from Polokwane, specifically at the Sishiko Stadium. It is a Group B clash, as tight as it seems on the top. Zambia, Zimbabwe, Eswatini and Botswana. The match for today is Zambia and Eswatini that are to do battle at this stadium. Zambia with 4 points, Eswatini with 1 point. And should Eswatini win this match, then we will have 3 teams with 4 points. But these are the defending champions. This is the team that will certainly be amongst those that are expected to impose and make their way to the knockout stages. There is much respect between the two sides, that is Zambia and Eswatini. And now the national anthems will be underway for Zambia and that of Eswatini.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Eswatini.
Goosebumps as the two teams get ready to rumble Well, it is a Zambian outfit that was made to sweat against Zimbabwe. A hard-fought, goalless draw brings them in hungrier than before. They are a team that is full of capable and able players in this lineup. As we have a look at Mercy Chipasula, Regina Chanda, Ngose Chabwe, that is the lineup in terms of the attacking threat. It's Glory Chilenga, Chisanga and Whittaker in the middle of the park. Judith Soko, Esther Siamfuko on the left and the right-hand side of the Zambian defense, with Agnes Musesa as well as Chanda Gondwe in the centre back. And we are then looking at our officials in this particular match, which hail from Mozambique. That is Chilidana, Francisco Fernando, as well as Happiness Damba Damba of Malawi, Kalake Mbiko of Botswana, and Rose Zimba of Malawi. Those are the officials for this match in today's encounter. And the two captains just making sure that they too announce their presence. The captain for Zambia is none other than Musesa, and the toss is up, and the captain for Eswatini is Mpala, a player that has been absolutely fantastic in this tournament. In actual fact, Sikonze is the lady who is in charge of today's captaincy. Let us then have a look at the lineup for Eswatini. In a moment, it is Nompilo Telamalanga Dlamini, Samkelisiwe Letitia Fagudze, Betusi Apology Matonsi, Simile Titi Marks, Pilisiwe Dlamini, Nonjabulo Lisejo Mohale, and Samkelisiwe Pretty Malinga, Nobuhle Sikonze, and Charlene Ngampala, Anele Ngwenya, Nelisa Begisile Msibi. They do line up with a 4-2-3-1 formation. Both teams appearing to come up, packing the midfield with the hope that they will get to the numerical advantage. Well, alongside me for this encounter is Pinky Machekane, a legend of the game who has been part of the team in this particular tournament. Pinky, just the two teams that are lining up today, different objectives, same goal, which is to get 3 points?
Absolutely. I think we've seen how Zambia, had drawn with Zimbabwe.
Eswatini in the previous match against Zimbabwe lost by 2-0, and then you had a 1-1 draw against Botswana, one that surprised many. It is all systems go here at the Seshego Stadium, with Eswatini in the blue uniforms attacking the goal from the right to the left of your screen. Zambia, on the other hand, wearing their familiar black with a bit of orange. They are attacking the goal from the left to the right of your screen. It is 26 degrees out here, pretty hot conditions for the players on display. However, there will be, without a doubt, an opportunity for a cooling break that will allow the players to ensure they hydrate and are well looked after. Zambia, who are the defending champions, have dominated the COSAFA tournaments of late. And when we're looking at the makeup of today's lineup, just one player that remains, Chilenga Maweta, who is the 23-year-old from the previous lineup that did duty against Zambia. What do you think in terms of the coaching, just leaving the one player and changing the whole complexion of the game?
I think with the coach there's a lot of trust with the team that is sitting on the bench. Having to start with the whole team, a different team, I think there's a lot of players that could do the same job that the same team did previously. So, yeah.
well, a complete new side that is probably to allow the players a good run, and maybe the coach, which is Charles HOLLYWOODBETS, just giving a run to a number of players, as this is the third and final game of Group B. When we look at the Eswatini side, this is a side that comes in with no changes at all.
Yeah.
And when a coach brings in a similar side with no changes, what does it inform us?
Well, I think there hasn't been a lot of mistakes that were happening at the first game, and he just wants the team to continue where they took off, where they left off. So, and also they're preparing the young team that has come through to see how they coordinate as a team together.
Well, you don't change something that ain't broken. And the coach there, Bongani, as well as Togozani, just making sure that they keep a team that was oozing with confidence in the previous match. A draw giving them all the hope that they can maybe cause another upset. Talking about upsets in the previous match, well, one looked at a 1-1 draw against Botswana and thought, well, Botswana will be a walk in the park for Eswatini. It wasn't to be. That has been a pretty tight tournament.
Absolutely. There isn't any team that could be taken for advantage here. I think every team, they bring in their A game. They're here to win it. And even with Madagascar, we've seen how they came here and they surprised everybody.
Free kick, Chilenga brings it into the box, and that ball trickles over the line for the first corner of the match. And Zambia with a delightful ball that was floated, and the last touch just coming off Dlamini Pilisiwe, new captain, which is Musena Agnes, who makes a debut in today's encounter. Ball into the box, and again clearance coming through from Nampala. Ball just trickles to go out for a throw-in. Zambia very early sending warnings of their intention to settle into an early rhythm, to get that early goal that will allow them to impose their plan. Out to the left, it's Esther Siamfuko, the 22-year-old. Ball delivered into the middle of the park, and it hangs up in the air. The bounce of the ball goes all the way to Nompilo Dlamini, who's played in every match thus far. 180 minutes for Nompilo Dlamini, who plays for Nsingisa Hotspurs.
She's been very, instrumental there at the back, commanding, the back very well. But I think at times she loses sight of, herself and the back line as well. So I think she needs to communicate more.
Communication is key in the organization of your defensive principles. Ball out to the left-hand side. It's Judith Soko, who's been given the responsibility to give them a bit of width on the left back position. Picked up in the middle by Chisanga Sasha, expecting ball to be delivered from wide, but good defending there from Neliswa Msibi. Applying the basics very well, Captain Sikodze Smangele, denying Zambia the delivery from the width. Zambia winning that ball as quickly as they lost it. Very important for the recovery of the ball. They'll be very aggressive in terms of making entries into the box. Is Zambia, as that ball trickles again over the line, and that is another throw-in.
Zambia is trying to put more pressure. They've been trying to make Eswatini to make those mistakes, especially at the back.
Forced errors. It's very very much pedestrian for the moment. Neither side looking to exert themselves. Conditions also are a bit of a challenge here at the Seshego Stadium. 3 o'clock is another match between South Africa and Lesotho for the morning. This Group B clash. Is one that should give us plenty of goals. Agnes Musena under pressure from Zambia. Eventually, ball just guided out using her experience. There's Pilisiwe Dlamini. She's been absolutely fantastic together with Smangele in the centre-back role. That is Pilisiwe Dlamini. Msibi and Fagudze on the right back and left back have also given them a little bit of balance when needed.
Absolutely, they've been so coordinating very well and commanding that defense very well. I'm so impressed by how they coordinate together and how they move together when they need to up.
So having conceded 3 goals, just scoring 1 en route to their third and final game. Eswatini, who have been part of the tournament, and when we take a look of their last 5 tournaments, they've been easily eliminated out in the group stages. That is Eswatini, goalkeeper, which is Mwila Mfute, who's making her debut for this tournament for Zambia.
We've seen a lot of improvements from Eswatini, though, for the fact that they've been eliminated for quite some time, and now they're reaching the group stages, and with the possibility of being staying as well.
Chases on, ball goes out. Eswatini, who will try and play out from the back, and pressing a lot higher is Zambia, playing with a mid-block, times high block, ball delivered inside the box, and still not cleared, high in the air, and eventually Nompilo does get a hold of it. Goalkeeper pushing her players up and wanting them to get into position. Bounce of the ball, it's a little elusive. Picked up by Lesego Mogale, goal scorer for Eswatini. Well, Zambia have got some wonderful players that are very skillful. Looking at Esther Siamfuku, who loves to cut in and waltz in a way, is Witika Mulenga. Delivers the ball into the box, but so far standing firm, standing solid are Sekonza and Dlamini. Zambia will try again. Ball rotated, available is Esther Siamfuku on the right-hand side. If spotted, instead, it is Maweta Chilenga that decides to go into the middle and see if she could attack from the middle. Zambia's game, as we have a look at the offside flag there and the strong wind that is associated with the day. Spot on decision, coming from an offside position, wasn't quick enough to make those bucket runs that are expected to try and get back onside. So Eswatini will want to really play that offside trap, understanding the threat from Mercy Chipasula, Regina Chanda and Ngosa Chabwe. Picked up one more time by Judith Soko. Ngosa looking to find Mercy Chipasula. Delivers a delightful ball in the air, and again the last touch coming off Eswatini, And that will give Zambia another corner. Siamfuko decides to walk away. Ball was nicely delivered there, and safety first is to turn that ball away for a corner. So some defending to do for Eswatini. Corner will be taken by Maweta. She's played 131 minutes. She's the only survivor of the previous players. Bit of a push in the box, but referee allows play to continue. Mercy Chipasula chases that down.
Again, Eswatini find themselves in a position where there's a lot of players at the back, and when they find the ball, there's no one in the middle to pass to. So they need to coordinate together. They need to arrange themselves, thoroughly.
Well, this is a team that is participating in the tournament with high hopes of preparing adequately for the women's WAFCON that will be taking place from the 17th of March to the 3rd of April. It's Zambia, South Africa and Malawi. Ball that is delivered from the left-hand side. Some great quality coming in. Maybe the attackers just shying away for the moment. Picked up one more time by Zambia. Whitaker Mulenga. Siamfuko giving an option. Siamfuko was just tucked away on the right-hand side for Zambia. Not spotted quick enough.
I must say, Zambia is looking pretty threatening. They find those loopholes in the middle. They're trying to threaten Eswatini as much as they can.
One thing that is very clear about Zambia is the patient game. They'll keep probing as Maweta gets in the box and the keeper makes a save. Eventually, Chanda, who took a strike at the goalkeeper, it wasn't the one she wanted, but the through ball that came in looking for Chanda, finding Chanda, and keeper eventually picking it up at a second attempt. Good control, Maweta. Siamfuko on the left-hand side. Ball delivered inside the box yet again from Zambia. It is picked up by Simile Marks. As Eswatini, who themselves are looking for players, Pretty Malunga, to help them move forward. Betusile Matonzi. Here's an opportunity for beauty! Brilliant effort! That has been no threat for Eswatini. And eventually breaking the deadlock against the run of play. Eswatini breaking the hearts of Zambia. Nonjabulisiwe Liseho Mokhale. This being her second goal of the tournament. Liseho Mokhale, she's quite a danger, and if not picked up and closed out, let's have a look at that ball. Harmless ball, defense not able to deal with it, and Liseho placing it furthest away from the goalkeeper. And that is enough to let the tongues wag of Zambia, and maybe to ask questions of the side that has been put up to do duty. So we get the first goal coming from Eswatini.
She doesn't wear the number 10 by mistake. The goalkeeper was caught foul-footed there and not expecting that ball to go in. But kudos to Mokhale.
Well, Eswatini soaked up the pressure, used their quick counter-attack, and it is an opportunity for Zambia to respond. Mercy Chipasula, ball inside the box, hacked away by Smangele. That goes as far as Judith Soko. Judith looking to lay that ball forward, and there's a player down inside the box. It looks like Charlene Nelisiwa Ngambala. She's also another prolific goal scorer for Eswatini. That is the challenge. Foot up. And it is unfortunate that her right foot got caught in that attempt for a clearance of Eswatini. So 16 minutes gone. A goal in the 15th minute by Mogale Lesego. So young Buffalo's attacker is really imposing a presence at this tournament, which is the 13th edition. So 11 nations have come to participate, and of that we only will have one champion. Zambia, who are currently the defending champions. Have a look at this one more time. Ball delivered, that's where the mistake happened, and that is where Mogale pounced. Keeper was off a line, but correctly so, to try and narrow the angle, but the precision and intelligence of placement of that ball from young Mogale Lesego was a little too much for the goalkeeper to handle.
Sometimes you don't need to do much, eh? You just need to look where the goalkeeper is, and if you're a smart player like Mogale, just place the ball. And that's what she did.
Chipasula finds Siamfuko. Esther, Siamfuko, ball in the box. And the defense is reading the danger excellently. It is Smangele Sekonze, full of pace. And this is what you want to see from your right back. Pushing up, getting into spaces, and delivering the quality. It is a corner. Chipasula. High ball, well connected by the defense. Again, it's Smangele. Here's Eswatini. Well, if you are going on holiday, pack your bag with rands, equivalent to 1:1 with Eswatini. They will really give you an unforgettable experience in the kingdom. You don't need to worry about topping up. So currency pretty much equal to that of a South African. So throw in. CB. Last touch allows the first corner for Eswatini. And pushing up players like Simile, pushing up players like Betusile. Pretty Malinga will also be in the box. Just 3 players that are being on the outside, expecting to deal with that second ball. And referee Casilda Francisco, who is a 32-year-old, and has been with COSAFA for 3 years. Ball delivered, header, that gets it away for the moment. Here's the pace of Judith and Maweta. Judith running into space, they've spotted very well. Here's Judith, eliminates a defender. Keeper does well, reading of that ball coming in. A dangerous ball that had the defense of Eswatini sweating and hoping that a quick touch will get it away, and Smangele did exactly that to disturb or to break that attack.
Good vision from the goalkeeper.
Positioning has got to be excellent. 20 minutes on the clock, 1-0 in favor of Eswatini. Sasha Chisanga, Siamfuko, Mercy, Chipasula. Oh, some music on the feet as she drops the shoulder and unleashes. But the defense doing the job. Pretty elegant play you'll find now and then from the Zambian players. They keep the ball on the ground and get the confidence, get a number of passes together in the cautious and patient build-up. So Zambia 0, Eswatini 1 after 20 minutes.
Eswatini mustn't get so complacent. They're leaving a lot of spaces, especially at the middle. You know, they must stick to the game plan, pick the players, because you can see they're Zambians right wing. You know, they're doing the work, they're overlapping. So this is where they need to take the opportunity to make use of that space when she overlaps.
Under pressure is Fagudze. Eventually forced the error as Chisanga Sasha is on the ball for Zambia. In the middle of the park is Whittaker. Chabwe calling for it. Mercy Chipasula, but the strike is one that is pretty tame by Maweta. But, for the efforts, a reward in the form of a corner is given. As Maweta rides a challenge, another one, and eventually takes the shot. The deflection is enough to change the direction of that intentional ball. Chipasula delivers a high ball. Brilliant! Brilliant header. Agnes Musena, the captain of the day. Quality delivered from the corner, and Zambia are back in it.
Absolutely, great goal. The Eswatini team found themselves, not picking up. They were just ball watching. So hence that goal happened.
Ball delivered, nicely flighted, had the pace, had the height. Chipasula herself at 1.72 meters, leaping highest, and got a free header. Dlamini picking the ball out of a net. This time it took 22 minutes for the lanky Agnes Musena, who makes her debut. And what a way to announce her debut at this tournament. So 1-1. It's back to the drawing board for both coaches. They rethink the strategy. Maybe goals is exactly what was needed to see who is to respond. It took almost 12 minutes for a response. In actual fact, it's 7 minutes. 15 minutes was the first goal. 22 minutes was the second goal. 7 minutes in between those. Here's Zambia. Pushed out of the way is Mangele. She'll be up and about and back on her feet.
I think she should have done better, especially with that goal that just came in. She's tall, the player who scored the goal, she's tall, so she could have just commanded that area very well, and she picked that player. But
nobody competed, Pinky. When the corner was played in, Agnes just leapt for that ball all on her own without a challenge. So that ball is hoisted in the air. There's Nampala. They'll see where Matlamini puts Judith under pressure. Goalkeeper's available. And she would be quite happy that they found an equalizer. And now will probably be quite confident. So she delivers a long ball, but quickly reads that and smothers that just on the edge of the big box. Nompilo Dlamini. Very clear structure for Zambia. 3 players in the front are always looking to poke holes. Gondwe. Good first touch from Mercy Chipasula. Ball delivered in the box, and the defense had to be alert. Goal scorer Lisejo Mokhale gets it out, picking up Nampala. Here's Gondwe. Eswatini looking to make a good couple of passes together, which will also give them the confidence. Gwenya is calling for the supply. Here's Zambia out with Chipasula. Mercy on the right hand side. Step over and let's rip, and not getting it on target. The offside flag had also come up instantaneously. The intention was to find Regina Chanda.
Eswatini has been working so hard, especially at the back. Msibi finds herself as working a lot, but she needs backup.
Here's that effort from Chipasula. And Aimless did well to drop the shoulder there, eliminate the defender with the step over. Going to the left, she going to the right. And eventually trying to deliver that ball, as we see the heat stress machine indicating that it is 27 degrees. That's a bit of a belter. That is really one where the players have got to be cautious and hydrate.
Absolutely, it's blazing hot, eh? This can take a toll into players.
Here's the first goal. The header, the mistake made, Mohale picking that up. And keeper at full stretch was denied. Eventually, that ball trickling into the back of the net. Response after 7 minutes, jumping highest is Agnes Musina. And again, when you look into that box, there was a number of blue shirts, not that many yellow shirts, but she still was able to get the connection, to get to complement a delightful ball that was whipped in by Mercy Chipasula.
Yeah, hence I said they were ball watching. You know, instead of picking the tall player, but they were ball watching. You have short players marking, you know, tall player, which doesn't really make sense.
Oh, they seem pretty happy with what has been on display. They've come to watch the COSAFA Championship in Seshego. It's been a wonderful display of camaraderie and spirit. Nompilo Dlamini. The assistant referee, that is Happiness Dumba Dumba, who's 41 years of age. My leader, can you give me the referee on the first touchline? Assistant number 1, if you can. Here's an opportunity for Zambia to go forward. And again, Mercy Chipasula was come to the right-hand side and caused havoc. Msibi's having a torrid time to deal with her.
This is where Msibi should have a backup when she, like now, when she goes, there should be a backup for her when they pass her. So they could be an assistant. That's what happened.
Eswatini just bundled out of the way is Simile. Referee giving the free kick with 30 minutes on the clock. Free kick to Eswatini. Well, here's referee Happiness Dumba Dumba of Malawi. She's been a FIFA referee for 17 years, and this being her 8th COSAFA tournament. She's really been one of those officials that has really been able to contribute immensely. We've also got to give compliments to Mr. Felix, who's responsible for spotting these young ladies through their respective federations. Not forgetting about Casilda Francisco Fernando of Mozambique. She's been on the FUFA panel for 3 years and just 32 years of age, making a career out of being a referee. So we confirm that it is locked at 1-1 apiece, a goal by Lesego Mohale and Agnes Musina. So another free kick in favor of Eswatini. Important arrangements being made. Goalkeeper in charge of the organization. That is fundamental. So getting ready to take that ball is Betusile Matonsi. She'll go route 1. Bounce of the ball, got to be followed. Keeper does well. Just straddling to her right-hand side. Taking those steps is very important. But again, as a goalkeeper, you got to be careful you don't trip over your toes.
Absolutely.
Long ball by the Pink Panther. Goes out in search of Esther Siamfuko. And that ball goes out for a throw-in. For the first time at the Women's WAFCON, we will be having 16 teams on display. Usually it's 12, but this time around there will be 16 teams, and all the teams that will be in the semi-finals. I'll come back and tell you what happens with those players, as Zambia is looking very much threatening from range. Comfortable is Mawetsa Chilenga. Showed too much of the ball is Judith Soko, and here is Nambala. But outnumbered in that attack, and Zambia with the goalkeeper. Betusile sends it right back. Mohale battling it out in the middle of the park. It is Marks. Player goes down. Here's Mohale, picked up by Chisanga. Nambala, who's really an absolute pleasure to watch. That ball trickles way over the line to allow the goal kick. And it has been one of those matches where Zambia has really been cautious about the approach and asked to be patient by the coach in Charles Halubono.
Perhaps Eswatini should try and change the formation, because the 4-2-3-1 is not really working for them. Oftentimes you find Ngambapala, isolated.
Well, they want to pack the midfield. This is where Zambia have been pretty dominant with the 4-2-3-1. At times, just having one play on the outlet, and the flag goes up for the offside. That's exactly what you were talking about. But what she does need to do is keep an eye on her positioning. And that is Katlale Mbiko of Botswana, the 23-year-old assistant referee, who is an early mom. And we say congratulations to Kalake Mbiko, who has just had her first baby. Having to navigate motherhood on and off the field, because a number of players still need that guidance. Referees are here to educate, to help improve the game. So we have a look at Esther Siamfuko, who doesn't look too happy. He doesn't look too happy, perhaps disappointed with the supply. Here's Coach Charles. That's Bongani Makukula of Eswatini. It's brought, I think, the youngest team to this tournament with an average age of about 23. There's some 20-year-old, 22-year-old. The oldest player on the field for Eswatini is 24-year-old Simile Marks. So that tells you that the future, as Siamfuko delivers header, and a bit of a miss, not making the right connection, but intention very clear. Ngosa Chabwe, her run was delightful, just sneaking behind the defense and not able to make a connection to that delivery. But you can't falter for effort. On the edge of the box, here's Zambia coming yet again, looking to go straight one. That's just picking lemons off a tree for Nompilo Dlamini. So looking at the log as it stands, Zambia will have 5 points. Zimbabwe will have 5 points. Eswatini will 2 points. And Botswana with 2 points. The scoreline on the other side is pretty much level. And we will continue to give you a bit of the splits of what's happening out at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. Rhoda Mulaudze with Michelle Chapanga delivering another excellent piece of commentary from the women that are slowly being positioned to drive the game. 35 minutes on the clock, 1-1 at Seshego.
Eswatini, they're still trying so hard to close the defense, and they always compact, I think communication still is not efficient.
The numbers are in that defense. They playing that offside trapper to perfection. Mercy Chipasula being caught on a number of occasions in that offside position. Mohale smocks. Maweta dispossessed. Matonsi. Mohale. Another long ball. She's onside. Niliswa. Oh no. The referee took a while, and rightfully so. You got to wait for the player to touch the ball before the flag goes up. She held on for quite some time. That's Kakale Mbiko. And the offside is Marks in the center of the park. And Pinky says, I don't think so.
No, it is an offside.
On the edge of the box, player goes down. Here's an opportunity for Regina Chanda. Keeper gets a fingertips. Just turning that ball away for another corner. Had to touch it. It was a grass cutter that looked very harmless, but as she turned, got the space. Regina letting rip, and the keeper, Sasha, got the final touch, and the keeper there with somersaults and did enough to turn over the ball for a corner. Maweta Chilenga, the 23-year-old, only survivor from the previous lineup against Zimbabwe. Zambia's first game was against Botswana. They were absolutely fluid. They were absolutely menacing. And Zambia,
number 10, Sasha Chisanga.
With the changes.
Going in, jersey number 21, Abel Chitundu. Going out, jersey number 11, Regina Chanda. Going in, jersey number 19, Agnes Viri.
Well, Agnes Piri full of running, and Chitundu bringing in an abundance of experience. Coach wanting to make sure that they go into the break with the lead. Well, Agnes Piri, another live wire. Ball delivered into the box. Keeper misses that, and the free kick is given. Seems to be a push in the box, and player goes down. Looks like Smangele Sikonze. It was a ball delivered by Maweta with a bit of spin, and the keeper gets a hand to it. Not sure what happened to Smangele, and she goes down. I think the weather really taking its toll. There was no infringement. Throw in. Siamfuku. Here's Chitundu. Chitundu with Chipasula. Chipasula waltzing away. Takes her time. Puts a comma in that. Shows a bit of skill. Still holding on to the ball as Chipasula. And eventually the left foot delivers the ball. Comes right back. And that will go out for a throw-in.
Great job from Sibisi from not giving her space to cross that ball.
Quickly taken by Siamfuku. Another high ball, but dealt with. There's Agnes Piri. And gets a connection. Doesn't get it on target. The compass just losing a bit of focus there. Good header. And first touch was good. Tried to wrap her foot around it, and that would have been a beauty. She had the space and the time as well, but not allowed to execute it effectively. Mohale. Marks. Betusile. Chabwe. Continue to run. And closing the channel out is Fagute. She's quite happy to give the throw in. Quite impressive run by Chabwe on the left-hand side. So it's a throw in, and Judith Soko, who plays for GB Women's Football, Green Buffaloes is it, a team that has really been ever present for women's football in Zambia. You also have Kamfisa Blue Eagles, Zamaka Ladies, Zesco Ladies, Konkola Queens. Bounce of the ball, Siamfuko delivers, keeper follows that, but that ball was packed with a bit of pace and a bit elusive for all the attackers of Zambia. Chilenga Chipasulu was waiting for it and eventually allowed to go out for a goal kick.
I think she could have, you know, taken a look and seen a player coming through from the deep end, you know, and just lay that ball.
Throw in. Goalkeeper is very alert and quickly goes to smother that. Just pushes the players up to give them that advantage of sending that ball forward. She does have 6 seconds. Eswatini have that ball in the air, climbing all over the players is Margaret Gondwe. And Chabwe wasn't able to keep that in place. Indeni Rose's attacker. This is a second entry into this match. Has played 2 games, come on, total of 41 minutes before this particular match. So getting some minutes, coach rotating the team and allowing the players some minutes under their belt, which will allow them to at least play with some comfort. If called upon, they're ready to do duty. Giving chase, Judith Soko on the left, playing it up with Maweta Chilenga. Chilenga picking up another availability of Ngosa Chabwe. Chabwe too quick to release that ball. Keeper with acres of space and all the time in the world. Pick a player, looking for Mokhale. Instead finds Chilenga. Here's Chilenga getting the benefit of the rebound. Mokhale. Ball out to the right. Samkelisiwe gets a second bite at the cherry. It's Anele Ngwenya that gives chase, but she's beaten to the ball is Anele Ngwenya. And ultimately, that ball goes out for a throw-in. Well, we have about a minute of regulation time, Pinky. When you summarize the first 45 minutes, looking at Zambia, what can they do differently in the second half? You're then looking at Eswatini as well. The two sides are locked at 1-1 apiece. You'd want them to definitely change something. So you being the coach.
I think Zambia has been doing a great job, especially in the...
Here's an opportunity for Zambia in the box, and almost an own goal. Apologies there, Pinky, as Zambia were hoping to finish this half a lot stronger and putting Eswatini on the back foot. It was a good first touch, beating that offside trap, trying to lay it on for an oncoming Mercy Chipasula, and it wasn't to be. So 3 minutes is the indication, and here's an opportunity for Mokhale. Well, you were making your observation, Pinky.
Yes, I was saying Zambia needs to still put that pressure, especially on the wings. That's where they get they create a lot of opportunities. But they need to look. So when a player comes from deep, they could lay, you know, the ball so they can finish. I think that's the one thing that they're not mastering very well. And Eswatini, they just need to, you know, to support their front line, because most of the time you find she's isolated, there's no support. So when they move, especially in the middle pack, so they should move as collectively.
Well, playing as a collective, that has been the identity of Zambia. Most parts, not worried about your superstar status. They are just a hard-working side that looks to collect the points that they so need to advance into the next round. They are the defending champions. So we are in the referee's optional time. We've played 2 minutes almost, thereof a minute to go before referee Casilda Francisco brings an end to the first half, one which will be welcomed by both sets of players. Zambia go all the way to the goalkeeper, navigating rather cautiously, and then it's a long ball looking for Mercy Chipasula. A good first touch, and doesn't she protect that ball very well? Plays it back and looking for Esther Siamfuko. Siamfuko, who's on the ball. Chitundu's come on, is calling for it. Hard at work. Maweta, she's dispossessed. Here's an opportunity for Ngampala. Ball in the box, keeper leaping highest. So here is the birthday girl who's celebrating her 40th birthday. That is Mori Anela Colette, and one says happy birthday to you, and we celebrate your impact on women's football. So a day to celebrate when she could be doing so much more at home, but she's out serving women's football. It is the halftime break here at the Seshego Stadium, and Zambia and Eswatini find themselves level pegging. We'll have a look at the statistics here, and they tell the story that the Zambian side has been dominant with 6 goals attempted, 2 of those on target, 9 fouls. So there's definitely an ease about this particular match. But do stay with us for the second 45 minutes.
First teams to score.
Be in the game. our keeper.
No problem. No problem. No problem.
Can you bring those adults in? Sir, they are not teaching. Kamuka Chana.
Welcome back to the second half at the Shishkako Stadium. It is Zambia and Eswatini that are doing battle. And just a few changes that have come on for Zambia in trying to ignite the Copper Queens. So 2 additional changes. Game gets underway. If you are just joining us, 1-1 is the scoreline. And Endless Piri has made a way onto the field, and so is Salia Mwanza. When the coach realizes the goings gets tough, brings on his trusted players. And Endless Piri coming on. She's one of those players that really loves the touchline, and the chase already on almost immediately, and one just gets a pick at Marks, who's flat on the ground and receiving treatment. For Eswatini yet to make a change. Ball over the top, looking to pick out Endless Piri. But Nampala gives chase comfortably into the hands of the goalkeeper there. The bounce of the ball as Eswatini want to bring it back, and bring it back almost immediately. Mercy Chipasula, a player who had to give way, and her place was taken by Endaspiri. So one looks at Eswatini side looking to pick up the pressure from the first half to convert it, and for Zambia, with the dominance in the first 45, they'll want to pile on more pressure.
That was a very dangerous move there. I can imagine if there was a player who was behind her and she's not seeing that, we could be talking a different story now.
So another header there for Zambia to clear their line, struggling to deal with Nampala, who's really quite menacing in the box. Captain, who got the goal, that's Musena. Here's Endless Piri, nippy player, wonderful in terms of explosiveness, has the ability to read the game with some fine print, delivers that ball into the box and waiting for it, and a lack of communication. And that does not give them the desired result. As we have a look at Chitundo, they're getting ahead. Endless Piri, marauding run, taking players on. 1, 2, 3, and relieves the ball, releases the ball to the right-hand side, and the delivery there, 2 players perhaps in a better position, was Salia Mwanza. Jersey number 14, Salia Mwanza, is a player that's come on in the second half.
Good effort from Mokale. She's such a player that you don't lose sight of her, because any opportunity that she gets, you know, she will try that goalkeeper.
Throw in on the far side. Ball picked up by Ignis Piri. Ignis brings Chilenga Maweta. Maweta looking for another Piri. It's Ignis Piri, and keeper tidies up Chabwe, who seemed to be the player charging down on the goalkeeper in that particular moment. Molenga Wikita has been fantastic in that midfield with the lovely hairdo, lovely ponytail. Here's the Pink Panther, sends another long ball forward, defending for Eswatini. Waltzing away. Here's Chilenga. Chilenga looking for Piri. Out to the right. Siamfuko. Siamfuko brings in Margaret Gondwe. Here's Endless Piri with a lovely touch. On the edge of the box, here's Zambia. Beautiful ball, and keeper equal to the task. It was Ngosa Chabwe asking questions of the goalkeeper. So Ngosa waltzing away, good communication between the two. And she lets rip, showing some great pace and good control. And eventually the keeper just turns it away for a corner.
Indeed, Zambia keep pushing and pressuring the defense of Eswatini and try making them
7 corners. Header away on the edge of the box is Mokhale. Zambia will try yet again. Ball delivered. Here's an opportunity. First touch, second touch. As into the back of the net as Avel Chidundu gets into the right position. She's just come on and announces her entry with the goal. That will give Zambia some sigh of relief and the ability to breathe with ease. Avel Chidundu, the second goal of the match. She peeled away from the defense in between the two centre-backs, and the placement was a placement to perfection. Good first touch. The second touch was the one that delighted many of the Zambian supporters.
That was very clever of her. She saw that she was offside, but she drew herself back so she can be on the positive, on an onside position.
Here is Eswatini with Nelisiwe Nampala. Closely marked as Nampala. Ball hacked away. There's a careful consideration in that defense of Agnes Musena for the goalkeeper. Gives the instructions, runs into space. Here's Zambia looking for Endless Piri. Good first touch. Music to those feet. Lovely piece of work. Endless Piri exerting the pressure. Delivery under pressure. Hacked away by Eswatini. Well, the introduction of Endless Piri is a welcome introduction. Here is Endless Piri, hard at work, hard at drumming, very nimble, goes in, delivers a ball with the left foot. And the connection there was not one that seems like they were waiting for. But with Endless, there are endless opportunities that she will be creating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Her and Chidunde, you know, ever since coming in, you could see there's a difference in the middle of the park where they create chances. They doing those combination passes.
There's a player down, and the referee is concerned. Full might of the ball taken in the midriff area. Titi Simile marks the 24-year-old who plays for Young Buffaloes on the receiving end from Endless Piri. Down she goes, winded. And that is painful. I actually felt it right here.
I did too,
in the commentary booth. So the bench of Eswatini wondering, but one needs to respond very quickly to the changes that have been made by Coach Charles Halumono.
Oh yes, I think Eswatini, they're taking the heat. You know, there's so many players in the middle, but however, there isn't much of what they're creating there. So I think, you know, especially at the front line where Ngapatala, she's isolated. You know, get one player who can support her and try to create those chances, because right now there isn't a lot of, you know, chances that they're creating.
Well, out of your picture in a moment or so was Mr. Felix, who is head of the referees. A few other dignitaries coming from Zambia. Ball is in the air, hanging pretty much for Agnes. Here's Piri. Runs out of room, but picked up by Agnes and sends it right back. And look at the pace of Mwanza. So for the moment, Eswatini are having a lot of work to do. Endless. Ball is high up in the air. Keeper comes out, makes a hash of it. Bounce of the ball coming off the woodwork. That was another close call. Here's an opportunity for Zambia. That goes a begging. It is the captain that had made a way up front. And eventually making that connection. And yes, Endless is scooping that ball, creating the problems. Very intentional. And the bounce of the ball catching Goza. And eventually the follow through that went over the bar.
Going out, number 15, Anele Gwenya.
Finally, Eswatini is making a change. Neto coming in, replacing Gwenya.
Well, the introduction of Makamedze for Gwenya is one where one is expecting her to cut through the defense, to come into the middle of the park and hopefully use that creativity that she has. Well, that's the earlier opportunity. And that ball just not going through. A disappointment from Chabwe Ngoza not to have seen that ball go into the net. Zambia would have been really in cruise control. Well, some homework being done. Looking for either player of the match or sending information to some of the scouts. This is the opportunity where ordinary is turned into extraordinary. Players who have graced this occasion and made a name for themselves. You go back and you remember players like Tembi Khatlanas from South Africa, who have become a household name playing out in Europe. Barbara Banda from Zambia also being announced at this stage. The Chawinga sisters from Malawi. They're certainly being the platform to raise the profile of many of these players. Rhoda Mlaudzi was also one of those that was playing a football out in Europe, and eventually she's back, just received a CAF-B license and is hoping to impart her knowledge to the development of Mamelodi Sundowns. So throw in it is for Eswatini. Zambia. Goalkeeper takes her time. Well, she has the luxury. Mfunte Mwila, the Green Buffalo's 19-year-old goalkeeper, was being nurtured to put Hazel under pressure. But she's got big shoes to fill. Hazel, a very experienced goalkeeper, was unfortunate. The World Cup returned home pretty early with an ACL tear. He has an opportunity, brilliant! Good first touch, take by Chitundu. The second one had a foot wrapped around it. And Chabwe was pretty excited with that effort of her teammate. Ball came through from the right-hand side. Look at that take. First with the left, the second with the right. And the keeper also got to be complimented for her positioning.
Beautiful technique from Chabwe. You know, like you said, good trapping, first touch, and then good vision, and then she kicked that ball to the goalkeeper. But kudos to the goalkeeper as well for, you know, being the right place at the right time.
While Zambia in 2024 were a team that scored 10 goals, didn't concede a single goal throughout the COSAFA tournament. And you had Lubanji and Frida sharing the spoils. Beauty, good connection, not on target, but offside flag was there to the rescue. Nampala's positioning is excellent. Nampala's reading of the game there maybe could have just waited a second longer, could have caused a lot more problems. But she's been the go-to player for Eswatini together with Lesego Mogale.
Hard-working players, absolutely hard-working.
So Frida and Lubanji getting the Golden Boot Award. Each of those are getting 4 goals in the previous tournament. It was one of some fantastic displays from the Copper Queens. Piri, endless, takes a shot. Absolutely dainty, absolutely nimble. But they talk of dynamites in small packages. This is one of those, together with Malawi and Hazel. Charles, don't underestimate the size. Chitundu, out to the right. Kondwe, Chilenga, and getting that ball over the top and behind the defense as this match reaches the 1 hour mark. 3 goals thus far, 2 in favor of Zambia. We'll try and update you with what's happening at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. Well, just to share with you, it is still 0-0 at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. Zimbabwe and Botswana in Group B doing battle there. So if you are looking for the group standings, it will be Zambia with 6 points. Apologies there. They would have had 2 wins. Zambia winning against Botswana, that's 3 points. Playing a draw, that's 4 points. If the scoreline remains as is, it will take them to 7 points. And the leaders of Group B. Ball out, Piri. Plays it back. Looking at Agnes. Agnes, Piri, and Endless Piri. Endless receiving that ball, looking for the return ball, and she goes route 1. There were too many bodies in front of Endless. Very businesslike.
Yeah, Eswatini, they just put in numbers at the back, just waiting for things to happen. They have to go, they have to push and pick up players. They can't just be sitting back and waiting for players to attack them.
It's played short. 2 centre-backs. Agnes combining with Kondwe. Ball goes out for a throw-in. Throw-in by Siamfuko. Zambia taking control of the midfield. Chilenga. Piri. Chilenga. Eight players in blue defending the entries made by Zambia. Oh, delightful first touch from Agnes. Away by Eswatini, but that's as far as Margaret Gondwe. Peeling away, good run. Keeper was quickly off the line. Mwitika. Miss Mulenga looks for a captain, finds Agnes Musena. Musena then goes to the goalkeeper, Mwila, debutant. Margaret Gondwe on the ball. Out to the right-hand side. Maweta on the receiving end of that pass. Zambia playing with a lot of purpose, looking for the spaces, the gaps has opened up, playing with comfort, sharing the ball very nicely. And you know a commentator's curse, the minute you talk about players keeping the ball or holding possession, and something happens. Mwanza takes a strike. Denied by Pilisiwe Dlamini.
I must say, we love to see a team that can, be in control of possession, but also create those chances and ultimately score. You can keep position and not, score.
Delightful ball, and wasn't able to finish that as Ngosa. But here's the log. Zambia with 2 wins from 3 matches and 1 draw, giving them 7 points. Zimbabwe are second with 1 win and 2 draws thus far. There's no score between Zimbabwe and Botswana. And Eswatini will be at the bottom of that group with just 1 point should the result remain as is. So Zambia looks sure and certain to book their way into the knockout stages. According to the fixture, it says winners of Group A will play the runners-up or the second best team. As we have a look at the earlier play of Ignis Piri, who has got such finesse, elegant, and is just a cut above the rest. Look at that, marauding piece of play. Here's Piri yet again, ball to be delivered and intercepted this time. Nampala, they've closed it down. Gondwe, under pressure is the goalkeeper. Heavy first touch, but does recover. In the middle of the park is Pretty Malinga. Neto Kamete came on for Anele Ngwenya. Zambia have been absolutely provocative. They provoke the oppositions, looking for them to open up. They create space this time with Ignis Piri. Keeps possession, finding Chilenga. Chilenga comes all the way back into Margaret Gondwe. Gondwe line runs into trouble. Captain, my captain. Ignis on the ball.
Eswatini, they're still trying to find, you know, each other, but it's just so difficult to find each other.
Mwila, ooh, good take. Free kick to Eswatini. Look at that.
The flair.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. It's amazing that she's still playing her football in Zambia's Endless Piri. Ball goes out for a throw-in. Siamfuka is busy as a bee on the touchline and looking to get on with it. Siamfuka on the ball, looking for the return pass. Chilenga decides she'll go route one, looking for Endless Piri, does find her, and that header is a tame one. Nombil. Bounce of the ball. Margaret Gondwe just cushions that. Disjointed up front are Eswatini, giving space and time to Zambia, pushing the players up front. Dlamini, Msibi, here's Endless, sells a dummy, keeps possession, releases the ball to the left-hand side. Mwanza delivers a cross-cutter on the edge of the box. Chilenga lets rip, and again, the coach on the bench, Charles Hollywoodbettes, says, come back and start again. If you don't find a passage through, just come back and build. Such confidence he has in the players that they have the ability to rotate that ball excellently with 70 minutes on the box, on the clock.
I smell another goal for Zambia here. The amount of opportunities that they're creating, you know, we might see another goal.
While talking about another goal, for the moment, it will be a water break as we have a look at the lovely touches from Endless Piri, exerting herself, and a change of pace is done with such great precision. She cuts through the defense like a knife through butter. That is Endless Piri.
One thing that I like about her is that when she takes on a player, she never loses the ball. The ball always gets to where it needs to go. So kudos to her, man.
So we'll also have a look at the impact of Ngose Chabwe, the Indeni Roses midfielder. Very lanky for the 22-year-old. Delightful balls out on the left-hand side, got a good connection there. And just a little bit of uncertainty, maybe closed the eyes at a vital moment, but continued to run, taking strikes as well that she was unable to beat the goalkeeper, and eventually the hard work being paid off. That was the first touch. The second touch with such delight. Have a look at the crisp efforts, some over the bar, and expecting much from Chabwe. So the changes here being made by Eswatini. We'll just confirm them for you. But Marks has left the field, and so did Ngampala. And the coach giving an opportunity to Tandolwetu Simelane. She's come on for Ngampala. And Simile Marks left the field, and her position was taken by Spesihle Masuku. So Masuku's come on, and so did Smelane. Offside being called by the referee on the far side at Damba Damba, a 41-year-old, a teacher. No, she actually works in the health ministry. That is Happiness Damba Damba. Spee has an abundance of experience, 17 years as a referee. I think when she's sleeping, as many games that replay, I'm sure she's fallen off the bed a couple of times.
It happens to all of us, you know. When you're a soccer player, you think about the next match. All you think about is football.
Well, football it is. So Eswatini, with the changes they've made, yet to make a difference, but they push the numbers up front. The ball is high, and keeper just takes the pace off that. Just takes the pace off that ball. Referee allowing play to continue. Chabwe calling for it. Siamfuko continued the run. Delivery coming from the far side. That is the channel that's causing the problems. And is a player out of your picture and is receiving a trenchant. Heat just taking its toll. And that ball just ricocheting off Smangele Sikonze. That was the previous attempt. The goalkeeper watching that right up until the final moments and having time to just break the throw-in. I mean the ball, and making sure that she collects it rather comfortably. So at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium, it is Zimbabwe that have scored 1-0 and also go into 7 points. Well, Dr. Desiree Ellis, who is in the stands and looking on and plotting for sure. They will be in action at 3 p.m. against Lesotho, their third and final match of Group A. It is South Africa's Banyana Banyana. Had some convincing wins. 2-0, yet to concede in this tournament. So with 15 minutes to go to the 90, there's been a long wait, as the referee indicating that that corner should be taken by Zambia. Ball delivered, and clearance with a bit of a handball in the box. Chitundu doesn't look phased at all. Good delivery. Look at the improvisation.
Yep.
And Chitundu with the hands stretched out wide. The referee had no hesitation but to give a free kick to Eswatini. Good control, Mulenga. Keeper inside the handbag. Plays it short. Siamfuko, who's been asked to take on the players, doesn't hold on too long on the ball. Here's Witika. Good take from Witika. Lays it back to Agnes Musona. Margaret Gondwe. Siamfuko. Good take for Siamfuko. Another high ball in the box. Chilenga. Piri has become a crowd favorite. Musena. Piri. Change of pace. Looking for that return. But Witika goes out to Siamfuko. Does well to keep it in play. A first time cross, but lovely ball that was closed down by Msibi. She's remained on the ground is Neliswa Msibi from Menzini Wanderers.
If you can go back a bit, I see Eswatini has tried to play two strikers now where they can get, you know, more opportunities. And I'm hoping that, you know, they'll start getting more passes, especially in the middle.
Neliswa Begisile Msibi. She's withering in pain and indicates to the midriff area that she is in a lot of discomfort, but the game will continue. The medical team just investigating. Ball delivered in the box and the keeper, ball just bobbling, and eventually it is hacked away. Well, there's questions been asked about that ball, whether it crossed the line, and it is Agnes Piri that is asking the questions, but the referee says no. Let's have a look at that. Keeper makes a hash of it. Is it inside? Well, we don't have the VAR, but we do have some wonderful angles that I'm sure the dedicated team will be conjuring up to show it without fear or favor. It's another corner. Ball delivered. Header. Keeper fluffs it. That goes as far as Matonzi. Margaret Gondwe on the edge of the box. Picked up by Wikita. Takes a time as Wikita. Siamfuko. Picked up by Eswatini. Helped on forward by Neto Gamedze. Similane and Masuku. There's another change. Matonzi's last touch.
Going in, number 21.
Noziwelo Shongwe. I think the coach of Eswatini, Bongani Makukula, has conceded that they'll probably be nowhere back. And again, just giving a run to Masuku, Noziwelo, being able to just lift the tempo a little. At this level, there's very little room to dilly-dally on the ball. Agnes Musena looking for Mwanza, and the flag goes up. Happiness Dumba, the 41-year-old who works in the health ministry.
Eswatini, they keep playing that offside trap very well.
Ball picked up by Whittaker. Looking for the return ball. Mwanza. Piri is available. Good dummy. Gives chase. Created space for herself. But it's Sekonze who says, I know your tricks. I know what you can do. It's almost matched her with the pace. Ngosa. Ngosa Chilenga. Chilenga does well to stay on her feet. Needs a good delivery. And that is passed to the goalkeeper. Was pushing out her players. Needs a long ball as we see the log. Zimbabwe and Zambia. Zambia in a pole position just on goal difference, but 7 points apiece. It's very close in Group B. Zambia, Zimbabwe, Eswatini and Botswana. If Zimbabwe can get another goal, then we'll have a photo finish in Group B. Here's waltzing Matilda Chitundu. Inside the box she goes. And the referee is very quick to blow a whistle. Is Chitundu. And she has a delayed fall. And asking the referee, what's that? But she gets the free kick. Chitundu.
It's a slow motion move, that one.
Just outside the box. That was pretty close for Eswatini to concede. I think it would be the first penalty of the tournament. I'm yet to see a penalty in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen any penalties, right?
We've seen red cards.
Yeah. A lot of yellow cards.
Plenty yellow cards. We've seen goals aplenty. 27 before this match. 10 games, 27 goals. That's 2.7 goals per game. Well, we now move on to 31 goals that have been scored in the tournament thus far.
And we've seen a lot of goals coming from Eswatini. No.
It was an 8-1 Malawi match that still stands out as the game that produced the most number of goals, the game that produced our first hat-trick of the tournament. My apologies. Malawi, whom beat Lesotho by 8 goals to 1. I think the biggest victory, most goals. So 31 in total after 12 matches. So hat-trick by young Henry of Malawi, 22-year-old, also dynamic player, great precision, good running off the ball. She's on display at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium, with Botswana giving a lot of fight. Yes, Zimbabwe have taken the lead, but it has been tough. Well, we have three venues for this tournament. So far, we've used 2 of those. The old Peter Mokaba Stadium and Seshego. There's a chance for Mwanza, but she's closed down. The ball is picked up by Piri. Then the new Peter Mokaba will come in as well. Tame shot. That's picked up by Madlamin. Malawi, who were the defending champions in picking up the trophy in 2023, have really made a presence. Keeper off a line, and good thinking there.
Indeed.
By Simelane to spot the keeper off a line.
Perhaps we haven't seen her much, as compared to Ngambepela, doing those runs. We haven't seen Simelane. Would you agree with me?
Well, Ngambala has been substituted.
Yes, I do.
And Simelane has come in different type of player. Pretty much wants delivery to her feet. Nampala was a player that was full of running and a workaholic, was looking for the supply from the midfield. At times would drop a lot deeper as Mwanza on the edge of the box is looking to ask questions of the goalkeeper. Ball hangs up in the air and will be watched by Agnes Museno all the way to goalkeeper Mwila. Agnes, endless, Musena, endless, Mapiri, all the way from Zambia, Gondwe, Siamfuko, Zambia dishing out the stuff. Agnes, who's available, is Chabwe, keeps that ball in play, Chabwe, releases Mwanza, on the edge of the box, Chilenga, good run and down goes Chabwe, and a free kick to Zambia, for Zambia.
Substitution, Zambia.
Change for Zambia.
Number 20.
And that was the final tap of Nosa Chabwe. And Mupopo, who is actually the captain of the side. Mupopo, she's got a goal in this tournament and immediately is handed an armband by Agnes Musena. Mupopo has come in. Can she get that insurance goal to give Zambia an unassailing lead? For the moment, it is Salia Mwanza with the set piece. Ball in the box and keeper gets a hand to it. Mupopo lurking, and eventually it is Eswatini who will get it away as far as Piri. She'll send it right back where it comes from. Picked up by Mwanza. Here's Zambia getting a bit of a second breath here. Can they use the counter-attack? Peeling away is Smelane. Eswatini on the ball, and it's just hacked away by Judith Esther Siamfuko, the Green Buffaloes player.
Zambia are looking to seal this one by putting in Mupopo, who is a known very quick player who's very explosive in spaces. So maybe we'll see a goal from her.
Well, just to wind the clock, as Zambia have really gone through the motions, played in spats. Eswatini making it rather difficult. Piri stopped in her tracks for the moment, giving chase as Whitaker finds Musena. Musena looking for Gondwe. Gondwe goes out to Judith Sukoto. Gondwe. Well, Eswatini will leave the tournament with just a point, and that was acquired in the 1-1 draw against Botswana. So Botswana and Eswatini will be the early departures, and maybe Zimbabwe and Zambia will have to wait for the calculators to guide as to who finishes on top of the group and who'll take pole position, who'll finish second. Could we be getting the second best team out of Group B? We still have Group C, which has Madagascar, Namibia,
Mozambique,
and Mozambique. So it's really tight, with the 11 countries all looking to make the knockout stages. South Africa were clear in Group A and were the first team to book a spot in the knockout stages. Whitaker.
Additional time.
Mwanza.
5 minutes.
Here's Zambia with the final run. Piri keeping the ball, almost running the full length of the pitch, eventually switching the players. Chitundu Siamfuko delivers the ball in the box. Mwanza, keeper, gives instructions to her defense, and she just asks Smangela Sakonze to hack it away. I think they'll look at it and say 2-1 is not a bad score, but 3 points is what is needed by Zambia. I will do enough to get over the line. There's an opportunity for Eswatini with Mohale, who really went quiet, with Margaret Gondwe giving chase. After scoring that goal, the Young Buffaloes attacker, in the 15th minute, was closed down by Zambia. Chitundu. Ball out on the right. Availability is Esther Siamfuko. In the box, away by Dlamini. And Mwanza will take the throw in. We've played almost 1.5 minutes of the additional time indicated. Mwanza, Piri does well to read the game. And, watching that she's not offside. Ball just ricocheting there off Agnes Piri. And eventually Eswatini hacks that ball away. They are a side that has made life rather difficult for the fluid game that Zambia is known to have. And with Eswatini given another opportunity this time around to be the leaders, as that ball from Mupopo misses the goal mouth. That's the danger when Mupopo peels away from defenders, but the delivery is excellent, connection is great. Doesn't she look like a Barbara Banda with the hairstyle and even the stature? That is Mupopo, strong player.
They do look alike. When I first saw
they
her,
do look
yes,
alike, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So when you look at the WAFCON, Zambia were a little disappointed losing in the quarterfinal stages. They were on the receiving end, just scoring 6 goals, conceding 9. They lost 5-0 to Nigeria, and that was in July. They also lost, they won 1-0 against DR Congo, and a very closely contested match against Senegal, who have also made the final 16. A draw with the host nation. That was 2-2 in Morocco. They really fought their way as Zambia in that tournament, but were perhaps disappointed with the ultimate result, bearing in mind that these are the teams, together with South Africa, that are expected to shine at almost every international competition. It was in 2023 where they were part of the World Cup, taking the world by storm, winning 3-1 against Costa Rica. I remember the 5-0 very clearly against Spain, and 5-0 against Japan. So Zambia really have got the respect on the continent. You got to write them off at your own peril. So it will be interesting for the next couple of weeks and days to see who makes that final team that will represent Zambia at the Women's WAFCON. Mwanza. Your first game was a dominant performance, 3-0. Yes, Mpopo doesn't get a hold of that. He demonstrated their dominant performance, and on the receiving end was Botswana. Failed to replicate that form in the next match against Zimbabwe. That was a tight one, and I know of some people who lost some money on that. They said it was Zambia that was going to walk all over Zimbabwe, but with players like Rutendo Makore fighting tooth and nail, made it very, very difficult.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of experience from this Zimbabwean team. Rutonde, you know, as a veteran, as a player who is, you know, very quick and, you know, decision maker. So you can't take them for a ride, hey?
Absolutely. So for Eswatini, another loss, and They will be
Time.
the early departures from the
Zambia
tournament.
2.
So Zambia
Eswatini
getting
1.
the 3 points, doing the business. It is about the points at this moment. And I want to believe, should the scoreline remain at the old Peter Mugaba, it is Zambia in pole position on a better goal difference. And they will book their place in the knockout stages. Maybe for Zimbabwe, they'll have to hold on a little longer to know their fate. We confirm the scoreline at 2-1 at the Seshego Stadium, and we share the statistics that tell you that the team from Zambia were absolutely dominant with 14 attempts, 5 shots on target, 10 corners, absolutely dominant in all departments.
The player of the match for Zambia.
That is the log standings with a +4 goal difference.
Maweta Glory
7
Chilenga.
points. Zimbabwe 7 points. Eswatini 1 and Botswana 1. So our player of the match is Chilenga Maweta, the 23-year-old, jersey number 13, who was pretty solid in the middle of the park. From myself and Pinky, we say good afternoon and do join us at 3 p.m.